Turn the phone mute. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Saturday Morning Cartoons. And good morning, Admiral. Welcome to the show. And Commodore Jim, welcome. Oh, we got an oldie but a goodie today. Silverhawks from 1986. Personally, this came a little bit before my time, and whenever it's on in syndication, it always had a bad matchup. There's always something else to watch. So I really haven't watched this series through entirely. Probably haven't even seen an episode in a few decades. So this would be a good refresher. If you want to watch along, the pinned comment has the Cosme link. Let's get this started. $4,000 sub watch party. Oh, congratulations on 4,000, Jim. Wow, this is very 80s.
Hey, I have memories of coming home wasted Saturday morning and seeing this before, like, Pee Wee's Playhouse. It's good to see you, man. Thanks
Down
for
a
the
little.
invite. It's me, Henderson. And hello to the real and fake Hendersons out there who wish they were here. You won't get that a chance again. Sucks how people ruin nice things, but this cartoon, it's well rendered. The art's good, at least for their intro. I'm going to go grab
Having a
the
bit of trouble
earballs.
hearing you. Not sure if it's the try to say something else.
Hold on a second. I unplugged and replugged in my mic. How's that?
Okay, yeah, you sound a lot better now.
If you think I sound good now, wait till I start pitching limited life insurance to you. Have you thought about what happens to your loved ones when you're gone? I have. That's why I have not bought life insurance. You know, they say you can't take it with you, and that was my feeling. The origin story. Wow,
Hey,
will this
Gorilla.
deliver on its title? Hey, Gorilla.
There's my camera off. Yep. Hey there.
Yeah, your camera's off. I wouldn't bump you
Gorilla,
up here if your
we in
camera wasn't
Manila.
off.
So what's this show about?
Basically, space guys that look like hawks.
Okay. Emergency transmission.
Hey, you may recognize a lot of these voices. Like 4 or 5 of the voice actors are repeat. They were main characters on Thundercats just a couple years before this.
Wait, so this is a spin-off of Thundercats?
No, but it has a lot of the same voice work.
Oh, okay, that's what you're saying. In that sense. Thank you.
Yeah, I believe the main villain in both series was the same guy.
You know, Mum-Ra was a hard-working voice actor.
Yeah. Let's see here. Earl Hammond.
You know what? A legend in our childhoods and early adulthoods because just everywhere. You know, my favorite voice actor though is the guy who does Starscream and Cobra Commander.
Oh yeah.
I just liked him. Can't tell you why. Cut of his jib kind of thing in both roles, you know. The genocidal thing kind of really helps cartoons.
Yeah. 80s villains were all pretty much destroy, control. Good template, but it's all the same template.
That's what I'm saying. You're not getting any audio bleed, are you?
No.
Cool. I can't figure out how to use my weird combination of earbuds and headphones right now. This looks good. Like,
Yeah.
physically, it looks good.
Yeah, very well animated.
Now, anybody, in case you forget, the upper right-hand corner of the Cosme has like a thicker, like, border. If you click on that, it goes full screen on your other device because everyone knows you should watch
Yeah.
Resolute Germ-O-1.
Is this all hand drawn?
Yeah. No computers no real computer animation at the time. 1986. At least not for
There's-
television.
There was some computer animation, but you're right. Like in very basic form in video games. By '86, I guess we had like really good Pac-Man. That's the only way to put it. We had very few games, but they were starting to look less dumb. Instead of looking like a stop sign, Pac-Man was finally round on our home video game controller.
Yeah. A lot of it hadn't really translated to children's television at the point. So,
There was a Pac-Man show.
yeah, the Hanna-Barbera one. That was entirely hand-drawn. That was Hanna-Barbera.
We need to put that one up against the Care Bears and see which wins. I gotta say, I like the xenomorph or whatever you want to call it, the life form that lives in space and shits plasma.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool. This is as good as any Red Angel episode of Star Trek Discovery, and then like 20% better, right? I'm
Oh yeah, it's
entertained.
definitely better.
I don't want any of these characters to die yet.
Just wait. We haven't met Copper Kid yet.
Well, I mean, on Star Trek Discovery, I'm sort of hoping that like the catastrophe they're trying to avoid just goes off anyway, and they all delete. Like, I wouldn't mind. You missed a good one this week. We had unearned new Mikey Spock talking to unearned old Mikey Spock to show how many times they've rebooted her, because she has not arced. She's just changed like a CD. Just someone hit fast forward and it was a different track. So now eerily calm Mikey Burnham versus screaming crazy Mikey Burnham. It was something.
Yep.
You're confronted with the idea this character has not changed. They've just been insufferably correct in 3 or 4 different ways. Either overly angry, eerily calm, glib and disinterested. That's the only, but always correct due to a series of wild hunches that outdo all the scientific reckoning that they do, if they bother to. Pretty cool weapon.
Yeah, pretty good lineup of bad guys.
That's how Skrillex used to hurt us.
I bet he and the musical chick get along quite well. I guess Stargazer's alone up there right now.
Oh, I was muted. Yeah, that's a pretty strong shooter. You get pelted by asteroids that big. I've seen a piece of space does the size of a grain of sand put huge holes in a solar panels.
Yeah.
Hi, Gorilla.
Hey, T.
He's Wolverine Light.
A little bit.
Okay, you can see where they scrimped here with character creation and a little bit of the dialogue writing. This is I sort of hate this creature, Gleek or whatever his name is. He's basically Keop, isn't he?
Yeah, he's the kid character.
But more insufferable and exaggerated and mixed with like a pygmy marmoset or some kind of monkey.
I believe he does have a benefit, though. He's a little bit quieter.
Is that supposed to be like a Soviet general?
United Earth General.
They had high ambitions in the 80s if they got the Soviets and the Americans working together.
Yeah. Well, it's 420 day, right? So what better day to watch this show? We've got Vulcans. How do any of us operate without a real heart? It's been fun for me, though.
I guess that's a hell of a way to find out you have a heart problem.
Yeah.
I mean, Iron Man basically went through the same experience. I don't know. We're sort of mixing and matching other. This is, dare I say, an amalgam of other successful cartoons. We've got the Wonder Twins, but one of them is Wolverine. We've got Keop. We've got the Phoenix, but people ride on the outside. And the cowboy guy, just we're waiting for him to make sense. But Saddam is one of their enemies, so we know they're good. And is that Talara from the Orville?
Yeah. Bluegrass is more of a copy of Brave Star. So
Grass
I
is
think
our
they all follow a
cowboy.
bit of a trope. Yeah.
See what? The only reason I say he seems to have no traits is because so far all he's done is smirk confidently. Oh, he's spoken now. There we go. We can add enthusiasm to Smirky. They were way ahead of Marvel with the nanotech helmets, huh?
Yeah.
It's almost as though the Marvel writers saw these as kids, the MCU writers saw these as children, and simply stole the ideas, isn't it?
Yeah. Convenient.
They're the right age. I'm sure that didn't happen. We're talking about the Wakanda was one of the most original movies I ever saw. Not to say it was good.
What the fuck is this? A sky ballet?
It's very much like G-Force, otherwise known as Battle of the Planets. They do that same shit, except there's 5 of them, and they go into like a star shape, and they start to spin, and then they turn into the fiery phoenix, which I don't know what it does, but after it's gone, everything's better for them. And today's birthday, the man who designed the Autobahn. We'll just leave it at that.
Oh yeah, a lot of people's birthday today.
Yeah. Guys, did everybody bad shot in this show?
Yes.
Yeah. They have to be a bad shot.
They
Or
look
else
like
it's over in 10 seconds.
they look like they got some of the people from Star Blazers. It's a little Star Blazer-esque. The look of it.
Yeah.
Their ships, at least. Obviously the Yamoto was unique and a unique concept, but the other ships from that show.
Yeah, they're a little close to that test. Should have just let it crash. Good morning, Captain Fandom Nerd. Welcome to the show.
Hey, Captain, how's it going? And hey, Jim, I forgot to say hi to Jim.
The link's in the pinned comment, Captain. And thankfully, that is the most complex his dialogue gets.
Cap, if you want to join us, there's a pass in the group chat, which is now extremely boring and will never be, but never have any personal thoughts ever again. How does everyone feel about the security of their group chat, huh? The cancel belief crusader changed that shit.
That'd be the mysterious Vulcan that we can't find.
In this show, that we do have Vulcan-like people. Some of them are weirder looking than others. We had one that just had Vulcan ears, and one that just the mad scientist A either had like a face tattoo or two different kinds of skin or something. By the way, Jeremy, I want to thank you for the link, buddy.
And not bad for a first episode.
It brings back good memories of eating cereal on the couch at my mom's. I wish we were doing Care Bears again. That was great. I really enjoyed the Care Bears, getting into their world, their culture, how they related to each other, their powers, the Care Bear cousins. I didn't realize the lore was so deep. I'm going to buy some Care Bears today because of that.
Wait, is there more going to be coming?
Yeah. I
Boy,
just
I
have
hope so.
to give it about 10, 15 seconds to load up the other episode.
Unfortunately, it won't be Care Bears, but it will be good stuff. It'll be Silverhawks is the name, right?
Yeah.
Now, of course, the Gold and Bronze Hawks were disqualified for using performance-enhancing drugs, so the Silverhawks are in fact the Gold Hawks, but that's not how the IOC has it listed. Still, they're pretty good, and here we go with another exciting episode, Journey to Limbo. This follows the aptly named Origin Tale, which delivered on its title.
And welcome, Tim's Talk.
Hey, Tim, how's it going?
What's up, Tim?
Good morning to you,
What
Tim.
up?
And hey, Cody guy.
Hell.
Hey, it's the band of many words, Cody guy. Welcome, welcome.
Okay, so Limbo's a place, all right. Looks like he really, really made a mess of it, so Limbo lower now.
Talent Ho.
Song
Yeah.
sucks,
No,
but
Callie
the
Hawk.
animation is great.
They got to fit the gimmick.
Okay, I'm really enjoying this theme song.
Are you? I like the montage. I don't know about the song.
Yeah, it's
I
very
want, like,
80s.
I want a game control. Look, they leave a rainbow trail like the Discovery does. Wow, so that's been done. That was stolen from this too. So far, we've seen two different things, one from the MCU and one from STD. Stolen right from this cartoon from the 80s. The song isn't great, but it covers everything about them, right? Partly metal, partly skin. I gotta say though, good luck with your uncopyrightable name, right? And Peter Lawrence sounds like a nom de plume if I've ever seen one. I know I always play guitar while I drive.
I imagine flying to another galaxy, he has plenty of downtime.
I wish we could have heard the sounds of his guitar because he was just strumming in like a vacuum or something. We heard his voice, not his music. Guess he had his earbuds in.
Yeah.
I like how they have this high-tech base that they only kind of just found out about that they're going to stay at for, I guess they said a few hundred years. It's self-generated. Now I'm going to go out and get a couch later. Don't you think they should be on sale since it's 420 and that's what people do on 420 is just lay around on the couch? I mean, I have the other things I need to enjoy it too.
Yeah. He has a very rundown office for being on a space station.
Is this the city that supports the space station, or are they on? Oh yeah, you're right. They went to Hawkhaven.
Yeah.
None of this makes sense. He's mostly robot, this guy. Like his torso seems to be robotic. His arms are human. About half his head is human.
Oh, they have to display his bald head.
You think they would have come up with a cure for that by now? Yeah, okay, so he needs tune-ups too, but like if he's got cybernetic intelligence, why the hell would he ever go to Chicago?
Yeah, he looks very Chicago.
Wouldn't he have like one hand inside of his waistband and be laying back with the remote in the other hand if he was very Chicago, right? Played football for Polk High. Ooh, this character's this snake-like character is a combination of several characters. He looks a little like Alakazam the Great had a heroin habit.
I think we met the annoying character for the show.
It's that annoying yes man sidekick, evil sidekick, right?
Yeah.
Guys, I'm trying. Oh, you mean the characters? Yes, we've met the annoying character for the cartoon show. I thought you meant our show.
And I think they should make every evil sidekick completely brown, so it represents an ass kisser. It has its head so far up the villain's ass there.
Cortan's sidekick, the weird like male Harlequin type character, Jester, whatever you want to call him, he has like a special brown nosing prosthesis and mask that makes it easy for him to brown nose his master without getting too filthy. He might be the ideal sidekick. Creepy as fuck.
And he has his little Kraken he turned into a motorcycle.
Yeah, that's a quick question, guys. What the hell sport and where the fuck are the team, the Kraken, like about? Like, what do they play and where the fuck are they from?
Yeah.
Hockey? The evil squid is a good recurring bad guy.
Oh, we meet the Falcon.
I mean, is it a falcon or a hawk?
I guess he's a tallyhawk.
Right, falcons are really small hawks, if I'm correct. Or no, they have different wings, right? Falcons have like pointed wings, and hawks have like
I think they're just an
little like
offshoot of
slanted
Hawks
wings.
from like a long time ago.
I believe you're right about that one. We have a lot of hawks in New York, but we also have huge falcons called peregrines.
Yeah, I think falcons are like baboons and gorillas. You know, same genet like same
They're, they're real close.
genus or whatever, but they branched off a long time ago.
Yeah.
One of the weirdest things you'll see is a peregrine falcon like offing a pigeon. It curls up into a ball and drops and just breaks its back and just grabs what's left of the pigeon and flies back home. Looks
It
like some
looked like an
Hanna-Barbera vibes
80s
here.
techno metal band.
They actually did, yeah. It was like a bad version of Guar. It was strobing for a second there, but it's self-corrected. I don't know if everyone saw that. But the Silverhawk, if you want to see the exact rendering of what it looks like the Hawks hanging off the side of the Chrysler building.
Oh, the Hawk's pretty impressive.
It's badass, and it can survive in a vacuum with some of its body exposed. I
They're getting in a lot of shots, but not
Yeah,
doing
hey,
any damage.
hey, how come they gave him a electric guitar instead of either a steel guitar or a banjo? They're gonna make him country. Either give him a banjo or give him an electric or a steel guitar.
He's really into Skinner and the Black Crows, right? But he's country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He may be country, but it's the 80s.
I believe in the words of the great philosophers Donnie and Marie, he's a little bit country and a little bit rock and roll here inside his deep purple dream.
Finally, they do a little damage. They had pretty good action for the 80s. They couldn't do things very complex, but they're making the most of it.
I'm biased here, but they don't have shit on Quentin MacLeod. This cartoon's good, but Highlander the animated series is the flowering of 80s animation, in my opinion. High point, story and animation.
I don't know. I watched the Highlander movie. I fell asleep during it. So
The first one or one of the many not so great sequels? Because the not so great
the
sequels,
first one.
they don't. Really, you fell asleep.
But of course, it was as Salty started at about 9:15 at night. So, in all
Well,
fairness,
I
yeah,
give you.
Salty makes things about 15% more boring.
well, it did, but
Well,
he had Matthew on there, and it was it's interesting commentary. But the thing is, we watched it starts so late.
you know
This is
what?
back.
There is a lot to be said about the Highlander, the first Highlander movie. It's great. The problem with the Highlander franchise is that they didn't consider a sequel, which was a great thing for that movie, and a terrible thing for the sequels. But it's a complete story. It just you get everything, including the ending, and it's just like you move on very happily, and you can ignore the sequels. Give it another shot. It's pretty good, man. You'll love the part with Connery.
What's Connery?
Sean Connery.
Oh,
Sean
Sean
Connery
Connery.
shows up and
Okay.
teaches the Highlander the skill she needs to fight for the prize.
You gotta remember, I'm not good with names. I'm good with faces.
He's the original James Bond, and from the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Oh, we're doing the first James Bond movie tonight.
So, I'll be doing Dr. No, yes?
Yeah, he'll just kiss anyone's ass, won't he?
Ian Fleming died during the production of
He's
Dr.
like
No.
Peter Pettigrew. He'll go to whoever he feels will be he'll be safest around and protected.
He fires right through his own canopy. But I
Good
mean,
morning, Mikey.
Hey, Mikey.
What can I say? Hey, let's go all over the world, rock and roll girl. I mean, what is he? What is their real difference here? I like music, you like music. These two should be dating.
Yeah. Is it buffering for anybody else or like skipping out?
I would call it strobing just a little. Yes.
Okay.
Let's see what I can close out.
It recovers every few seconds for a while and goes smoothly. The buffering, of course, like everything else, my fault. I did it.
Oh no, I was just making sure it wasn't my computer there. Because I got Minecraft running in the background.
It's not only is it not your computer, I caused the buffering with negative thoughts and my incessant bullying. Damn it, Germ, get this right. Fear me. This thing, is this another form of the squid, or did they just give it a little bit of a makeover since episode 1? It looked a little more organic last time we saw it. Is this like war space squid?
Oh, he turned him into a space motorcycle.
Okay, so it's not like Squirtle and War Squirtle. It's the same creature. It's been like remade.
Yeah. He beat the creature and turned him into his ride, basically. How you doing, Mikey? From Russia with Love would be the next after Dr. No. I'm not sure if he's gonna
skip. It was made too fast. It's not so great. The story is relatively solid, but it's just like I don't know. Connery backslid in the role. He wasn't quite, you know what I mean? Like it was so different from movie one.
And Doctor knows
Yeah, hey,
that
Mikey.
6 o'clock your time, Gorilla.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna do 5 o'clock tonight.
So
Okay.
Doctor No is one of two James Bond movies that the title song is not the same as the name of the movie. Can you name the other one? In this one, of course, the title song is "Mr. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang" / James Bond's theme, Bee's Knees.
Oh.
Goldfinger.
No, there's a
No.
Goldfinger song. Think movie titles and the one
I
that can't
believe
have a
it's
song.
Casino Royale.
Casino Royale has a song. I don't know if it's called Casino Royale or not.
It's not. It's a White Stripes song.
It's okay. So like it ends they stop using songs named after the movie around View to a Kill because that one's called Dance into the Fire, isn't it? No, the
Okay,
one
so
I
you're.
was thinking of was Octopussy. Try making a song with that title. You're an octopussy. It does not work. On Her Majesty's Secret Service theme song is called On Her Majesty's Secret Service. It's simply an instrumental. Check out the track listing on James Bond's Greatest Hits. It's also the best theme song. It's used again as his incidental music.
Oh, look.
That song is also listed on the soundtrack for Thunderball as 007. It's a dun 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 dun. That one. He just strums that guitar aimlessly. It doesn't make any noise. Somebody forgot the Foley. Oh, God. Please don't talk anymore, kid. So their ship has a couple of other features.
I guess this is their version of a PSA.
How come proctologists aren't called astronauts? Duh. He's on crack. There are ones made of mostly ice. Unless he's saying it's a comet. This is bad
And
science.
comets are mostly ice.
But the idea that the asteroid is it is Rankin Bass. Like I thought, it has that hobbitish look to it of the 80s of the 70s Hobbit, especially their creature creation and bad guy look.
Yep. Let's see here. Episode 3.
Hey, for next weekend, can we get the original Hobbit movie put on there? I think that was cartoon.
Yeah, it's only an hour.
Yeah.
Right. You know what? I would love that. I could sing all the songs. And I think I have the dialogue memorized.
I think that was I think the original Hobbit. It wasn't the original Hobbit movie. I think it was the original Lord of the Rings movie. That was like a freaking bad acid trip.
It's the Hobbit.
That's Ralph Bakshi. You're talking about the Lord of the Rings movie from '79. There's a Hobbit Rankin Bass from '76 and a Rankin Bass Return of the King from like '81. With the Hobbit being by far the better.
I don't know. There's one we watched. We were watching those original Lord of the Rings from this. I think it was the '79 one. That was like a bad acid trip.
Okay, did they get into like it's not the Hobbit? It is in fact the Lord of the Rings. They've got the ring. They know it's bad. Blah blah blah.
I can't
Gandalf
remember.
is pretty.
I tried
Like,
blocking it out. I just remember it's really bad.
did it end with Treebeard looking like a carrot?
I cannot remember. You're
Yeah,
talking. This
I
was.
think you saw the
Yeah,
Ralph Bakshi one.
you got remember. This was back when me and heck, I think
Did
that
they?
this had to have been more 10 years ago because I don't even think Owen was born yet. Me and Marissa were still together.
Okay, so they didn't show it to you in school.
They would never show
No.
that. They would never
Yeah.
show the Bakshi one in school. I'm thinking he's got to be talking Bakshi. It's very violent.
Yeah.
They don't cut away from the violence, and the other one is interwoven by a lot of songs. The Rankin Bass one
Yeah.
uses music to tell most of the story.
Hey,
Okay.
that's
The Planet Eater, episode 3. Here we go.
This reminds me of an episode of Star Trek I know of called The Doomsday Machine. Holy shit, it works the same way as the Doomsday Machine. I feel like we're dropping into this without context.
That's how you do a preview.
Rather than establish the story, we'll just encapsulate it in the first couple of minutes. And then we'll explain the show and the song. I have a confession to make. I hope people can forgive me, but I've had it out for the Silverhawks ever since one got the scholarship that I was going for, based just on the fact that they were a Birdman. I had higher grades. Did they say partly metal, partly meat? New writer.
Hey, we get background characters.
I'm troubled by Bluegrass's apparent lack of grasp of the English language.
Oh, those guys are dead.
They were asking for it. Okay, this guy just looks like an orc with hair. He is right out of The Hobbit. the Rankin Bass Hobbit.
And they automatically look over their shoulder, not on the screen. They're idiots.
He has to turn his whole body to look over his shoulder because even though he's sitting down, he's got everything he owns strapped to his fucking back. Now, the Planet Eater is after the roving Death Star planet. So we've got two of the same thing, but the Planet Eater has like jaws. It chomps up the planet and space debris. The people we lost to the Planet Eater were attacked by what's essentially a robot. Would you say so?
Yeah, they're all basically robots or mutants.
The
And you're
Planet Eater
Muslim
seems-
welcome.
Hey,
Welcome to the
buddy.
show.
We are watching Silverhawks on Cosby. We're up to the episode The Planet Eater. I believe it's the third in the series.
Yeah, the Cosmic link should be pinned to the top.
Any issues you might have with this, just remember they're beating Marvel to the punch on several things. Nanotech, we got that. We did some shit from Star Wars before. We showed that they were stealing shit, that Star Wars and Star Trek stole some shit from this. And I'm waiting for Space Leia to show up, really.
I think the closest to Leia we're gonna get is
Steelheart will
Silver
float
Girl.
through space. Yes. Her name is Steelheart, Germ. Aren't you? Come on, aren't you learning your lore? I'm making note cards here. It's like, Admiralty, you're on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? This 80s cartoon made no sense. I'd like to use a lifeline and call Resolute Germ. And hail in the theater, your Muslim uncle. It's the Doomsday Machine from Star Trek, but it's got a jaw. It's a space shark.
Yep.
Wait, the big planet's name is Planet Hawk, huh? And now we've introduced something new. They have uniforms and, like, clothes to wear when they're not at work.
Yeah, I guess they're not quite used to the metal skin.
Or their boss was like, "You're not going to walk naked around my station. Put some clothing over that metal."
Yeah.
Kind of like making C-3PO wear jeans, but you know what? Give Rian Johnson another movie and you'll see it.
All right, I got my poll up for next Sunday.
Did you
I
take
take the all
Viagra
in
to
it.
do that?
Okay.
Cool.
If Sharknado doesn't break 10% again, I'm just gonna switch it out for something else.
Hallelujah.
Did
You heard
guys
that,
see-
everybody. Do not vote Sharknado.
Guys, did you Sharknado it is. By the way, take a look in my group chat. There's a message from Muslim Uncle. We're gonna do what we can. Try inverse phasing, Gorilla. That works in most Star Trek episodes.
What?
Oh, just some
God, I
Star.
gotta turn this down again.
Yeah, sorry, just some Trek no babble for you.
Okay.
Sphincter 1 is firing out some plasma, or whatever this Planet Hawk. I don't know. We're not sure what this planet is. It would be great if this character were to be killed in this episode. It really would be. And here we have a guy with chainsaw hands, just like in The Sopranos. Remember? It's like from Christopher's movie. They make Wolverine wear like a hockey jersey. I don't get. Everyone else has coveralls.
Yeah.
It's to make you ask
Although
questions.
He's
I
the
like
sporty guy.
And this like buzzsaw robot he spawns new circular saws every couple of minutes.
Yeah. Oh, you know your Muslim uncle is in the Cosby chat.
Yes, I saw him checking in. Hello, your Muslim uncle.
Oh, he's in our regular chat too. Hey, your Muslim uncle, welcome.
Watching on my phone so I can do both simultaneously. To admit certain voice actors are not having the same expectations makes me like shows more now than when I was a kid.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And we have heard a few of these voices before. You have mentioned that there are some well-known voice actors going on in here. Or at least some people, but maybe we don't know their names, but we've heard their work in other shows. I think Thundercats, you said, was the source, and I think I hear Lion-O.
Yeah.
And that's
It's
Mum-Ra.
like 4 or 5 of the main voice actors are holdovers from the Thundercats.
Blonde douchebag villain Lizard Man is absolutely Mum-Ra. Did you see that mistake in the animation? His eyes didn't track. One eye moved and then the other followed a second later.
Yeah, it looked a little off.
Didn't track, right? Hey, it's Yorktown Base from Star Trek Beyond. Everybody ripped this cartoon off. They're like, no one remembers Silverhawks. We'll steal our movies from there. Oh, okay. So the Planet Destroyer is the planet with the sphincter, and that weird drone ship just drops garbage into it to keep it fueled up.
Yeah.
All right. So it's got two components: a tender and the planet itself's a weapon. This is aside from having the tender drop the garbage in it, this is 100% the Doomsday Machine from Star Trek TOS.
Yeah, it's a good chunk of it.
Just slightly changed to not get sued. They made it round instead of conical. They gave it a tender. Everything else totally the same.
Yeah, they made it fit the series, but
Pure.
It's the same basic weapon.
Pure anti-proton. Absolutely pure. They say there's no devil, Jim, but there is. I've seen it. Hear, hear. Force 10, that sounds pretty forceful.
It's probably the last thing you want to do for a whirlwind.
I think when they join together and spin, they have some kind of like synergistic power, like the like G-force does. They're activating Fiery Phoenix or whatever. The most logical thing we have is that the musical weapon is a giant tuning fork. I get it.
He's gonna catch the freaking missile. Why would you fire a missile just to carry a net? Get to it, Igor.
Yeah,
I would
he's
like
worse
to
than
see this-
he's worse than Pettigrew.
Yeah, this guy needs like a treatment program, the support of his peers, and possibly a very long detox.
Hey, good morning, Aravic. Welcome to the
Hello,
show.
Arabic.
We are a good point through the third episode, but we still got one more episode if you want to jump into the Cosme.
Here's our lore. There are slightly metal cyborgs who kind of fly through space, and they have various weapons, and only Steelheart and Bluegrass have come across enough for us to know who they are. Bluegrass has the cowboy hat, Steelheart's the chick. Then we have sort of a cheap Wolverine, and I don't know what about this other character. And did it freeze?
Crap. Yeah.
Yeah. And hey, Arabic.
Now, this weird space squid has been in every episode.
See what else I can close off of this thing.
It's not frozen, ladies and gentlemen. We're showing off this great art. Look at this featured art here, Gorilla. Isn't this fantastic?
Huh.
One might be led to wonder why his unprotected arm doesn't just shoot off into space and suck the rest of his body out with it. But that's the magic of the Silverhawks, isn't it?
I think that falls under don't think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that kicked in when I heard the theme song, actually. Here we go. We've added some lore here. There's now a way for him to secure the guitar.
The
Don't
funny
think we've
thing, what
seen
I've
him
seen
have
of the
this.
toys, their arms aren't like that. The faces are uncovered, but their arms, they didn't bother making look human. It just colored in like the rest of them.
They have one Michael Jackson arm and one human arm is the best way to put it. Or one Dr. No arm, as you'll be finding out tonight. By the way, just some trivia for you, Gorilla. Did you know that the
Yeah.
Bond movies are all American movies? They're made
Yeah.
by Americans.
Yeah, if they're gonna be doing rock music, they might as well just start playing Danger Zone.
That would involve copyright fees.
Yeah. No way they can
They
afford
don't have
that.
any money. These people have no money.
Was this before or after Top Gun?
About the same time. There's probably overlap. What do you think, Germ? Am I close?
Let's see. Top Gun came out in 86.
Yeah.
This is from 1986, September 1986. That's when
And,
Silverhawks debuted.
and Top Gun
Hello,
I don't know when Top Gun was released, what day.
1986.
Yeah,
Oh,
but I don't.
probably like close to Memorial Day. That's a summer blockbuster if I ever heard of one. I'll check right now.
Yeah.
Though. Let me find out.
Pretty sure it was summer.
May 16th,
May 17th.
1986.
May 17th. May 17th.
I got May 16th, but yeah, we're going back so far to 1986. I'll spot you those few hours, bro.
Hey,
Maybe there was a midnight premiere.
Hey, I got the most reliable source on the planet, Wikipedia.
Yeah, I got the second most reliable source on the planet. A popular assistant named after a company that's named after a big river. I don't want to say the name, or I'll set everyone else's off. That's consideration. By the way, do you think they should change the term woke word to, activation term? I don't think anyone likes the word woke word anymore for their assistant. It's like you activate it and it's like, today's the day we attain equality. It's like, no, I just want to know metric conversion. Metric system was invented by a woman.
Who gives a shit? That's the category that falls under.
That's right. That's right. I don't have one from Amazon. Mine is from a company called Hudson, and it just answers things quite differently. Oh, gee, a red planet next to Earth.
I believe that'd be Neptune.
It's Saturn. Mars. They named it after a candy bar. Nice planet.
Hey, what's that little dinky ass thing right out in the middle of the fucking belt? Whatever that belt's called out there. Not past.
Talking about like Pluto.
The dog. Yeah, the one not past the dog.
Oh yeah, Planet 10. Does it have a name?
Well, there's about 1,200 planetoids out there. There's one that starts with an S.
Right.
Oh, there's Nemesis.
Sirius.
Yeah.
Sirius is the name of one of the dog stars, I believe.
Okay, one more episode.
And Pluto clawed its way, social climber that it is, back to being a planet. This year saw amazing comebacks for two different things. Pluto went from asteroid back to planet. It got its title back, and the Titanic, after 112 years on the bench, took out 5 more millionaires. Just only kills millionaires. That Titanic. Comeback player of the year, guys. Am I right?
Yeah. Hey, I found it. Sedna.
That's the planet past Pluto. It's not. It's another planetoid.
Yes, it's in the Oort cloud.
Right, and that's for anybody who wants perspective. The Voyager probe has now moved just a bit past that, because that's the edge of our solar system, and I think it takes
not quite
like a couple of days. Voyager has passed into the void, so that means it's passed beyond that ring of asteroids.
No, but our solar system goes beyond the Oort cloud. Our sun still has influence past the Oort cloud.
Okay.
The system technically ends at the Oort cloud because there's void space outside of that.
Right,
yeah, but it's not the edge. But it's not the so-called edge of our solar system. It still
The
goes
the
quite a
star
bit
will
past.
have influence tens, maybe hundreds of light years away until the
Um,
density of other objects completely not takes it to base zero.
wouldn't that mean that like we're inside the influence of the belt of Orion, just so we can simply see them?
Pretty
I'd say no.
much.
But
Well,
Most
here,
stars most
I think
stars have the influence on the galaxy as a whole. The closer
right.
they are, the more influence they have. It's on a microscopic level, say the
To
same
us,
as a mountain in Washington would have effect on somebody in New York or in
I
Minnesota.
remember when it did. One of your mountains blew up very inconsiderately and covered the entire globe with ashes. So it happens, but yeah, I get what you're
yeah.
saying. All it was for us was a cloudy day. You a little
Yeah.
closer, kind of a lot worse. I would imagine. I would imagine. The
Well,
people on the
name
mountain when
was
it blew up
Helen. What do you
probably
expect
suffered.
from a woman when it loses her head?
Yeah, all right. Then they give her
Yeah.
they give her the name Saint. Now there was what like 25 geologists on the mountain that day. They're like, we think it could blow up in a couple of hundred years. They were just a little bit off, and I think they evacuated people in time. But was there one
Yeah.
person who lived on a mountain, Harry S. Truman Johnson or something like that? He was just like, and he wouldn't leave. They're like, the side of the mountain you live on has swelled up 8 feet in the air in the last week. He's like, get the fuck off my property. I don't give a fuck.
Well,
Yeah,
52
Because he
people
I was
lived,
died in
born
that.
here, I'll die here, go fuck yourselves. And
he
he
got what he wanted.
chased the news cameras and the cops off of his land.
Saving their lives. He was a hero. And then also like there's some really amazing pictures and video of the explosion because it was a national park. The word had gone out that there's something up with this mountain, but no one thought it was imminent. They're like, "Oh, this mountain's showing
No,
signs of
they
things
knew
that'll
for
happen
a
in
week or
hundreds of
two.
years." At the
They knew
last
for a
minute,
week or
things
two.
started changing very quickly. You're right. The mountain was like was like heaving and shrinking in ways that only you couldn't perceive it with the naked eye. But once they placed their instruments, were getting feedback. Yeah, the scientists knew, and the National Geological Survey knew, but I don't think there was like an aversion program like "Stay out of the park."
All
We
right.
think this thing will
I'll be
blow
right.
up.
I'll be right back.
What was the
Okay.
prediction that it would be a different kind of volcano, or did they think it would be the explosive kind? Because there are many different kinds. Some explode from the top. Some have no lava involved at all. Some only are ash cones. The Mount St. Helens volcano is two different kinds of volcanoes, right? First, it was an explosive volcano. It went off like a small nuke. And then it was an open pit ash. It was an ash cloud volcano, right? It didn't have like lava, but there were lahars and a serious pyroclastic flow.
Yeah. It took out several logging camps and basically swallowed a river to about 20 times its size.
Right. And it also clogged that river later with an ash fall. And people, a few miles away were still like blown off their feet, burned a little bit. Like you had to take measures to stay alive for the time that this happened if you were too close. And
Yeah, they had
obviously there was an
evacuated the park.
unsurvivable zone.
They
They
had
had
evacuated the
evacuated.
park
All
uh,
right.
close to a week before.
Okay, so once they placed their instruments, it became obvious that this was maybe imminent and definitely going to be bad when it happened. Was
Yeah.
not aware of that part. I know that they had started investigating the mountain right before the explosion. And then, if I remember correct, was the explosion May 18th, 1980?
I believe is 1980 or 1982. I don't
I think
remember
it
the
was
year
May
exactly,
18th.
but I do remember the day because that's my mother's birthday.
It's May 18th?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, I know someone born on that day too, which is why I remember it. And they had a very volcanic personality. It was appropriate.
Yeah. So yeah,
But
they were talking about it here apparently a lot longer than it made the news.
thank
So
God
the
someone
the
went up there
nation
and
national news picked up on it maybe 2 or 3 weeks after they started really chattering about it over here.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be
You know what's
today if it happened. The national news would pick up on it
You
about
ready
a
to
month
go,
after
Gorilla?
the explosion.
Oh yeah, I'm ready. You could have started a long time ago.
Okay.
But no.
Starting last episode.
It's kind of funny though. I showed my kid there the bank in the next town over got robbed by Bonnie and Clyde on the same day of the year that his birthday was. Is
Oh, cool. I didn't realize they made it up that far north. I guess the whole Midwest was their territory, and that's why we had to bring in the FBI and shit.
oh yeah, well the town had to get known for something. There's only 800 people in that damn town.
Bonnie and Clyde were smart.
Hello.
Wherever they went, they were really nice to the normal people and only shot at people who shot at them. I mean, they weren't cool.
Yeah.
They were just really good. With,
As far as kid characters go, Copper Kid isn't that bad because he doesn't
By the
really
way,
talk.
Aravik, is that the
Right.
Kolinar logo from Star Trek that you have there as your avatar? We've got a lot of stuff mixed together. We've got Voltron thrown in here. We have a lot of Thundercats.
Yeah.
We have G-Force, aka Battle of the Planets. As they said in The Simpsons, there is no Tipsy McStagger. He's simply a amalgam of other successful corporate logos. And this is what these guys are. They're like part RoboCop, part Iron Man, part X-Men, part Bird. Okay, this is once
It's the
again written by Peter
Vulcan
Lawrence.
Edict.
Is it? Thank you very much.
Oh, that's infinite definitions, infinite combinations, or something like that.
But
Or
infinite diversity and infinite combinations.
Yeah.
Cool. I knew it was Trek related.
Yeah, it's a Vulcan. It's a Vulcan thing.
Yeah, we do see it on certain Vulcans outfits. Amanda might have one in some episodes. If anyone should have one, Amanda should wear it. This guy never speaks in anything but an angry shout. So could you imagine him on his birthday? We got you what you wanted. You know, it's a football signed by Brett Favre. Thank you.
Did you pause it?
One doesn't pause the Silverhawks.
Let's see if I can refresh it.
We're getting a great look here at this tower that Peter Jackson obviously ripped off. Tolkien, a time traveler, saw this cartoon and used some of it for his book.
Okay.
What do you think?
One second,
What do you
and
guys
I'll
think
have
of this
to
story pitch?
completely redo this.
While you do that, what do you think of this story pitch? Gorilla, help me out with this one. What do you think? Time traveling Tolkien kills all 12 Doctor Who's.
Sounds like someone's been smoking a little bit too much crack there.
Not crack, but marijuana. Close enough. Green crack indeed. It's 420. What am I supposed to do? There's only two things to celebrate today. One of them is illegal, at least in Germany.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that has it.
Limbo is their base, guys.
I think Limbo is their galaxy.
Okay, yeah, you're right. But limbo time, I guess, then relates to like where they operate from or something.
Yeah. Basically, their
Couldn't
little
just
time
call it
zone.
4 in the afternoon. They had to say that. So that's their start dates. This guy looks a lot like the mole men from Laurel and Hardy's Toy Story, doesn't he? I thought it was really daring for them to name his Yes
Yeah.
Man.
How
Yes
about you
Man.
right back? It's a little too the 3-year-old's being a little too quiet right now. Very suspicious.
Oh yeah, it's a
It's up to
damn good
something,
reason to be
yeah.
paranoid.
Make sure you let us know everything's okay. Wait, did they just say the dark side of the sun?
Yep, dark
All right,
side of an artificial sun.
Oh, okay, it's artificial. I was going to say, to be fair, I guess our sun could be dark on one side because we've never been able to look at all of it at once. But, you know, I'm pretty sure that whole thing is on fire. I'm glad you liked it, Arabic. It does resemble Kirathungal. Yes, it does. Thank you. Glad I'm not the only one.
Yeah.
And it also, yeah, that's the Witch King's place, right? It did.
Yeah. All right, the house ain't on fire, so we're good.
Chewing through the power cables again. Now, like many 80s musicians, we can see this character does the greatest damage with the keytar, a fearsome and horrible instrument and weapon of death. What has less dignity, guys, the keytar or the melodica?
You don't get less dignified than a keytar.
I have to agree. Really, just having it both ways with your keyboard and your guitar, you might as well just MIDI your guitar. Which, considering the advancement in technology and buffering speed, is probably highly possible now. You can play the end of Layla on your guitar. I dated a chick who had hair like that in the 80s. That did not necessarily mean you were radical yet. That just meant you liked, like, Dead or Alive.
If they have hair like that, you know who they're voting for.
In the 80s?
Yeah, nowadays.
No.
The 80s, they weren't voting.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, in the 80s, when I dated a chick who had green hair, like, all I knew for sure was she really liked Sisters of Mercy, you know? And sex. Did the curtains match the drapes? Don't remember. Long time ago. Did the rug match the drapes? Don't recall. You're
Glad
welcome.
you could be here, your Muslim uncle.
In Arabic, yes. Jump on in there and celebrate. I'm a little ahead of you, as most people can tell.
Be sure to celebrate under the rules of your particular state and or jurisdiction as it applies.
Hey, I fought.
I
I'm a
am
veteran
forced to
of the
say
war on
that
drugs. Yeah,
by the
you are
United
actually
States
forced to say it.
government.
You probably are forced to say that. Enjoy responsibly, which means according to the law. But I was allowed to smoke marijuana before the law changed because, like, I had one of those little cards.
Well, they're not exactly that hard to get.
In New York, had the highest threshold. Only 1% of New York cardholders were alive 6 months after getting them. I was really lucky to get one at all. But then one day, because the governor was a handsy asshole, I woke up and pot was legal in his last-ditch attempt to stay in office. And I would like to see him go to jail for his misconduct during the COVID disaster, where 50,000 New Yorkers lost their lives in 3 months. That is not very good work, Mr. Cuomo, in my opinion. It took 10 years to lose that many people in a fucking war in Vietnam. What's his excuse?
They're trying to
No,
make
you're in
Trump look
Colorado.
bad.
So. Yeah, you got about as friendly laws over there as we do over here in Washington.
Walking mountain high, smoke some reefer. It's only 10:28 in the morning where you are. But that, you know what? Go ahead. As long as you've drank coffee with that.
Now, 10:28, that's okay. I knew a guy who puts it in his morning coffee.
Weed?
Some type of THC. I don't know what form.
God did a really good job making it the way it is. I'll just use it as he made it. I don't need mankind to re-engineer it. Unless, of course, I'm sneaking a vape at work. So this name of the enemy faction was stolen by Warner Brothers for Space Jam: The Monstars.
Yep.
In every episode of this cartoon, we've seen something that's been appropriated by someone else. Do you think that's how MCU and Star Wars writers do it? They're like, what are the most, like, Google list of most beloved, completely forgotten sci-fi shows, and then like they'll watch them and they're like, we could steal this, we could steal this, we can definitely take this.
No, yeah, it's definitely intentional. They're counting on
Movies
you remembering it, but not remembering where it's from.
We're
So it
only
hits
a
that
few years-
nostalgia without pissing you off.
We're 3 years away from modern movies with sound being public domain. Right now, I believe Metropolis is just on the cusp of it. Don't go playing it because I said so, but Metropolis and other stuff on the edge of public domain, and talkies on the edge of public domain. So it will be interesting when something like 1932 Robin Hood is available. For some reason, this makes me want to watch Cowboy Bebop. There's a cowboy in this, that's why.
Yeah.
And it's a quality tale.
Yeah, it reminds me
Unfortunately, we
more
don't
of
have
like Brave Star.
Right, and no one's going to screw this up by making it into a terrible live-action woke piece of garbage.
Yeah, that would be a little bit too much work for those people.
Although, honestly, if we could get there are some people so dedicated to destroying the past, and I think one of them would have to be, even though we love him, Harrison Ford. Does anyone doubt if we sat down Harrison Ford and said, look, no one wants the movie, but we're making Working Girl 2 so that we can destroy that character and make him into a handsy, like, don't take no for an answer kind of guy. And Melanie's going to be back, and she's going to be the victim of this one, which is why she's going to look like Gollum. It's not the surgery. What do you think? Harrison would be like, oh, I'm on board to destroy any character I ever played. It's like, we'll pay you your standard fee. No, I'll destroy it for free. I want to undermine and destroy my legacy. The Fugitive 2, where it turns out he actually is guilty and the one-armed man was a figment of his imagination. Coming soon.
He can hear what you're saying.
Harrison or the Silverhawks boss who just smashed his pencil in
The
a way
boss.
that no one else ever does? How did he break that pencil that way? Cool Your Jets might have been a better. We should.
No, Ervik, haven't done Star Blazers yet.
I would imagine that'd be a lot of work for you though, because isn't it every episode is 12 minutes, but it's like 2.5 minutes of recap. In other words, the entire previous episode, 2.5 minutes of new, and so your whole new episode, and then 2.5 minutes of teaser. So all but 5 seconds of your next episode. So you were just running over the same ground 3 times every episode, right? You'd have to find the movie they chopped it out of and then show it like in like 30-minute bits and then take a little intermission. I don't know how you'd approach that. Because the way they made the Star Blazers show for us that I saw, the version I saw, was recap, show, next time. And all were equally long. It was, I believe, the next week's the next time on was like unchanged, just the recap of last time. Or you know what I mean? Like next time on was the actual episode.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen Star Blazers.
It was chopped out of a normal length movie, so they had to be redundant. Somehow, most episodes have an end, though. Weird. But that would be an interesting watch. I like how she can like control the beam with what music she plays. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, Ervik, I'll put the Star Blazers on a list with a few other anime switchovers.
Star Blazers, I can attest, like it is slow the way they presented it to us, but it definitely had substance. And there's 3 iterations. The Comet Empire's another enemy. The Gamelons are the first enemy.
I think he's talking about the 74, the one that directly veered from Battleship Yamato anime series.
Right. I believe you are correct. And hey, is it me or is that the best theme song of any anime show?
Oh, they got some pretty good ones for theme songs.
We're off to outer space. We're leaving Mother Earth to save the human race. I don't know. I thought that was pretty good. I liked it because it seemed like that would be their in-universe song anyway. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, guys, get ready to fire up the engines and launch, and like the whole crew would just be singing that together. You know, like in like a Navy movie where they all sing like a song while they like hoist the sails. You know what I mean? I agree.
Yeah. Definitely very 80s rock.
And they're ahead of their time with not using like ray guns, weapons, and like pistols. They're using music to fight, but it still has just as devastating an effect. It's a cool workaround. It may even have just been done for the sake of originality. I don't think it's a workaround on guns, because here comes a gun.
Oh, he lost his guitar.
I hate when that happens. Now she can only tell the truth while that lasso is wrapped around her. Wow, he's got a strange kink, man. He really wrapped her up good, like a spider. I'd like to take off her glasses and see at least what her eyes look like. It's like when people subdue Batman and don't pull back his mask. Like, why? When I see these creatures, I'm lamenting that they survived. Might that be Chitara? Oh yeah, that's their artificial sun, right?
Yep. A 1 billion lumen flashlight.
At least it's not a slap in the face to like common sense, though. You know what I mean? It's dumb, but it's not below the bar of the intellectual level of what this cartoon's going at. Is this going to be our PSA?
Yeah.
So finally, enough context to figure out that that is a simulator on a sim arm. Lies beyond Saturn. Rigel! That is Neptune. Duh, you're an asshole too. Does anyone ever give us a final score and tell us what we've achieved? Okay, now I think we are talking about Neptune. He never gets any of them wrong. I hate this little monkey thing, creature, cybernetic asshole. Mercury. Pluto. His answer was right, then wrong, then right again as far as Pluto.
Yeah.
Well, it's been a time and a half with the Silverhawks, hasn't it?
Yeah.
We saw a lot of
Very
stuff
good
that
series
shows up.
for 1986.
A lot of the stuff that they throw in here shows up in other franchises and other stuff. Like, for instance, the nanotech helmets that peel back off their faces when they don't need them. That's definitely ahead of its time. They took some Star Trek stuff. Hey, you know, no harm, no foul. You know, Moby Dick in space. It's been done before. The planet destroying entity. Star Trek did it first, but I mean, it had been at this point well established. There's 2 Star Wars movies out there with it at this point.
Yeah.
Soon,
But,
there's a few more in the works with planet destroying tech, but you know, we'll talk about that later.
oh, yeah. They'll never end with the planet destroyers.
Once you start that kind of interstellar arms race where you can reach out and fire anywhere from anywhere else, and the beams that travel at the speed of light travel much, 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 much faster than light, because really the plot of TFA is like, they fired at us from the other side of the galaxy. We only have 700 or 800 years to figure out what to do, assuming they lined up the beams right. But instead, we see what happens.
Yeah.
So I don't know what to do. By the time we get to Rise of Skywalker, just everything has a planet killing gun on it, and if you pay attention to that terrible movie, there's one ship still unaccounted for out there, and they won't be smart enough to use that as the threat in the Ray movie. But remember the one that blows up Boba Felicity's planet?
Nope, because I never really watched that movie all the way through.
They have a bunch of Star Destroyers that have Death Star guns on them. They're called Death Star Destroyers. Get it? So original. But one of them goes and destroys a planet called Kijimi. And Felicity is from there, but she wears a helmet so that she only has to do voice work, and she probably got like $4 million and money from the figure. It was like, I think her and JJ's first sick joke kickback is like, if you give me $500,000, I can make you $4 million for like 6 hours work.
Glad you can be here, Vic, and we'll have that anime pull up next week. Teague, you have anything you want to shout out before we go?
I'm Crazy Admiral Teague. That's the name of my channel. We do Star Trek, pop culture news, MCU, and other shit like that, like Star Wars too. If you want to see someone who uses insanity as a performance-enhancing drug, please subscribe to my channel, Admiral Teague. Thank you.
Sounds good. Gorilla, you have anything particular coming up?
Oh, I've been muted this whole time? Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, then he missed my whole rant. But anyhow, tonight we're watching Dr. No. It's first come, first serve on the panel. But I am going to limit it to 5, maybe 6 people because I do not like panels larger than that. It just gets into everybody, people talking over each other.
That's
all that other stuff. So I'm going to keep it relatively small. Tomorrow we are watching Super Troopers 2, where we go to Canada. And Justified on Wednesday night. Thursday for Chris Talk, we are watching Jack and Jill, the Adam Sandler movie.
Oh, God, twice as much Adam Sandler.
Yeah, I can't remember which episode we're reviewing for The Waltons. It's season 3, episode 8. The one right after the system.
It's the one where John Boy does no work by talking to Grandpa on the porch and getting out of it.
No, John Boy's in college.
He never did any work anyway.
John Boy did more work than Aaron and Mary Ellen and Elizabeth. But then
Elizabeth is like 6.
I personally feel James Robert does almost all the work.
Who's James Robert?
Jim Bob and Dad. Pa Walton and Jim Bob do like 98% of the work, while John Boy and Grandpa sit on the porch and reminisce. John Boy's got a pretty good work dodge going on there, which is he also manages to get out of World War II, doesn't he, that fucker?
We're only on season 3, and so far John Boy's done the sawmill stuff and everything. But anyhow, the next Saturday will be Germ's pick for a movie. And I do got a poll for our next Sunday cinemas coming up. Right now, Sharknado is in the lead with 100% of the vote. So, but it is Chicago rules. So
give me 5 minutes, I'll change that.
Yeah, but it's Chicago rules. So remember to vote early and vote often. Yeah.
Sounds good. Okay. As for this channel, we'll be Sci-Fi Cinema on Tuesday with Andromeda, episode 15. I should be able to do the Nerd Night Roundtable on Thursday, and we'll have that anime poll for next Saturday should be up tomorrow. Thanks for stopping by, everyone. We'll see you next time. Take care.
Bye.